How do you decide if someone who is to work with you will be an employee or an independent contractor? Oftentimes, a client is interested in working with a person or a group of people, but does not necessarily want to put them on the payroll. It could be because the relationship is anticipated to be for a short term or for a particular project only. Or it may be because the scope of what the individual is supposed to do is very limited, or the task is one that our client does not have a lot of expertise in or does not have a lot of control over. It is very important to make sure that the person or persons who are providing services are categorized correctly, either as an employee or as an independent contractor, since there are tax and liability issues associated with the decision. The IRS requires business owners to withhold income taxes, withhold and pay Social Security and Medicare taxes, and pay unemployment taxes on behalf of employees. No such payments or withholdings are required for a company using the independent contractors. Rather, their employer is required to withhold and pay those taxes. In addition, a company is usually liable for the actions of its employees, but would not be liable for the actions of an independent contractor unless the company specifically authorized or directed the independent contractor's actions. The same analysis applies for workers' compensation. In other words, the company's workers' compensation insurance only covers its own employees. It is the company employing the independent contractor that is responsible to provide workers' comp for its employees. There are several factors used to determine if someone performing services is an employee or an independent contractor. However, the most important factor is the right to exercise control. So if a company controls or has the right to control the way a job is performed, or what the worker does, or when or how the worker is paid, it is a good indication that the worker is an employee. If individuals other than the business owner exercise the majority of control over the work or the worker, they are more likely to be an independent contractor. If the decision is made that a worker or workers are independent contractors, be sure to have them complete an IRS Form W-4, Request for Taxpayer Identification Number and Certification, and then issue them an IRS Form 1099 shortly after the end of the calendar year to report any payments made to them. Remember, look at things like setting work hours, deciding how a job is to be performed, deciding pay rates and times to be paid, furnishing of tools and work materials, right to fire and right to quit, and working for more than one business at a time as a few indicators on whether a worker is an employee or an independent contractor.